Hey world, 9 minutes motivation at 9 a.m. is inspired by me and sponsored by Happy Customers. Happy customers keeps their customers happy. I am Deepak and my life is beautiful and I stay on top of the world because I work as worship. So here we are on the last and the final day of this amazing, crazy, strange, eventful year of 2021. And another few more hours and we'll be moving into absolutely a fresh new beginning of 2022. I have a very beautiful mental philosophy with which I work or I do things or which I live my life. I learned this from my sales career. As a salesman, I learned this amazing lesson, and I think I have implemented in almost every aspect of my life, and I've seen tremendous results and tremendous impact that I could create in the world where I lived, or the world which I am creating and created. HT into you would have heard from me, but in today's context, it makes amazingly meaningful. First impression is the best impression. All of you have heard this. First impression is the best impression, and the last impression should be the lasting impression. So today is going to be the last day of the year. What are you going to do to create a lasting impression? Lasting impression in yourself, on the world around you, so that that lingering continues to be with you as you move in the next year. And tomorrow morning, the first day of the year, and the first impression, if it's going to be the best impression, what is it that you have planned, are you going to do to create that magic to begin the entire year? Because how you set your tempo, the trend with which you set the entire beginning, actually more or less defines the entire journey. So today being the last day and tomorrow being the first day, very important day of the year in terms of a mindset, in terms of how you want to end and how you want to begin. First impression is always the best impression, and the last impression is should be the lasting impression. Whether it is your meetings, whether it is your presentation, whether it is your beginning of a relationship, or it can be your first date, or in any aspect, great public speakers always make sure their first statement or first few lines are absolutely powerful, impactful, so they can first create a first impression. And they also ensure that last few lines of their speech are almost all the time fixed. They practice it, memorize it, so that even if they have not done justice in between, the last few lines can create a lingering effect on the audience for a long time. Last impression should be the lasting impression. You want to understand, you want to put I want if you, I want to give you a guideline or a basic essence how to find if it was a good movie. A good movie is a movie where the first impression, the first few scenes set the entire mindset of the audience, and they know they're going to watch something magical. And a great movie is that movie, even after the movie is over, much after the movie is over, it still lingers into your mind. Then you know you have seen a phenomenal, fabulous, fantastic movie, because last impression was a lasting impression. When you begin the meeting with anybody, a prospective client or your team, how are you going to create that first impact that everybody is, you have got everybody's attention? That's first impression. And the way you end your meeting, there has to be something which you do, say, end up doing it, so that even after the meeting is over, it still lingers in the mind of your teammates or your colleagues or whomever you had a meeting with. As a salesman, I have practiced this when I enter the cabin of the prospective client. How I'm going to start, I have practiced rehearse multiple times in my mind. And I know when the toward the end of the meeting, irrespective of whether I have got the sale or not got the sale, I'll ensure that somehow I will say something, do something by which I'll create a lasting impression that even after I leave that meeting, should keep thinking about me. And then you know you had a great meeting. In a year of 364 days, and today is the 365th day, Even I don't know how you have lived in between, but can you create a lasting impression? Because this terminal experiences of anything, the beginning and the ending, these two are very, very important experiences for you to complete the experience and begin a new experience. A terminal experience of anything, whether when you sit for meditation, even when you're going to sit for meditation, the first few seconds, and then after the experience, when you come out of the experience, those last few seconds are very, very important. How are you going to do it? Because that will set the tempo for the momentum for the next experience. And that's how it happens. It's an amazing, I won't say secret, but amazing understanding which all of us can practice. And I think today being the last day, it's tricky, it's crazy because everybody in the world wants to celebrate it, but there are regulations, there are restrictions, there are new rules coming almost every next hour, and there is a challenge on the hand. But yet, can we create a lasting impression, or are you going to become a victim? Can the victim can the victim be victorious by the end of the day? Right now, most of them are feeling victim of the government rules and regulations. That why the hell only on this day you have understood the importance of lockdown, importance of section 144, importance of curfew, importance of today only you realize this, all these days, and people have their own thoughts in the entire thing, and they might be feeling victim. Or you have still a few hours in which you can do something by which you can turn into a victorious person. So can the victim become victorious by the end of the day? Then you know you have created a lasting impression for an entire year to remember how you ended. And of course, be ready for tomorrow morning. It's going to be the first day of the next year, first day of the entire year, first day of the next 365 days. Absolutely clean, untouched, unscratched, kept in front of you. How are you going to create an impact? How are you going to make that impression in your life, not to the people? Because what do you do with the people? How does it matter to you? What impression are you going to create in your mind? What are the promises? What are those oaths? What are those decisions? What are those resolutions? I don't know what it is, but what is going to be a first impression? I'm clear. I'm going to have a lasting impression. We'll see how. What I'm going to also have a phenomenal first impression in my life, to my life. So, what is going to be your plan? Because first impression is the best impression. Then the last impression should be the lasting impression. That is why when I start my session as 9 minutes motivation, I have an opening for it. When I end the session, I have an ending for it. I want that music to linger into your mind. I believe I can. I believe I am. And that's how we plan everything. Not now, every day from now. When you get up in the morning, what is the first impression you will have on yourself and in your life? When you go to sleep in the night, what is going to be the last thing you will do which will have a lasting impression in your subconscious? So you go lingering with that to sleep and start your next day. And that can be an entire resolution for next year. That first impression is going to be the best impression of yours, and the last impression is going to be the lasting impression of yours. With this last 9 minute motivation of this year, and tomorrow will be the first one. Look forward for it. Here we begin this day, beautiful day. Go. I believe I can. I believe I am. I believe I can. So guys, go set and grow.